All about the podcast. Welcome to another edition of the Andrew Dick Show podcast. Right here, coming to you from Focus Forward Studios in Petersburg. Today on the show, we going to, you know, have a little bit of conversation about what's happening in St. Martin. A little bit uncut from the late night, of course. Um, the healthcare situation in St. Martin continues to be an issue. And yeah, it's a beating horse, it's like beating a dead horse, but the horse is still dead either way. I'm going to be talking to a professional today that from St. Martin that looks at the health situation completely different because he works in the United States. He's a big health administrator, a nurse by profession, and much more. And that is, let's give him a call right now because he's in the US, and we'll talk to him about.
Yeah, and you.
Hey, Alexander Gumbs. Of course, he is. I was just introducing yourself before I bring you on, but you could introduce yourself. Please, Alex, tell the people who you are and welcome to the Andrew Dick Show podcast.
Hi, my name is Alexander Gumbs. I'm better known as Dr. Gumbs. I got a doctorate degree in nursing. I'm a nurse practitioner here in New York. I own my own practice. I'm from St. Martin. Came up to New York about 30 years ago for school and stuff like that. And I got two masters. I got a bachelor's, and I got my doctorate last year.
So you know a little bit about healthcare then.
I know a lot about healthcare. My master's is nurse practitioner of family health nurse practitioner, and the second one is a nurse practitioner in psychiatry. So I worked many years as a family nurse provider, and then I switched over to psychiatry, and I pretty much do both.
No, Alex, thanks so much for joining us. What I wanted to do is to give the people here and all over a bit of an indication of the healthcare system from a different point of view. This time from an outside point of view instead of us complaining about the same things these past years, the waiting time, the lack of care, the new hospital. It looks like we weren't about the same things. I'm sure you were able to pay attention to the different governments that they had. You even decided to
Mm-hmm.
throw your hat in the ring, politically wise, during the last elections that we had. And but now that you're back home, I should say home because that's where you reside. Um, what do you think from an outside perspective as to where we are healthcare wise here in St. Martin?
Well, for my observation, St. Martin is still using the medical model, which means is a model that is outdated. St. Martin, if I'm not mistaken, they have only about 18 doctors, and St. Martin is a place where if you get sick, the only person you could see is a doctor. Whereas in the world, the real world, they have physician assistants, they have nurse practitioners, even to deliver babies, they have midwife. So the real world have already gone further in terms of care. Doctors, I work with a lot of doctors. Matter of fact, I train a lot of doctors that came from the University of St. Martin, the AUC. They do 2 years in St. Martin, and they come to America, and they come to one of my hospitals, and I actually train a lot of those residents
Oh,
to
nice.
become doctors. And St. Martin, for example, in America, the doctors then, of course, they got specialists like cardiologists, they have urologists and stuff. But those are emergency. But just to bring down the cost for people, right? You can't go see a doctor all the time. You want to go see a provider, like a PA or a nurse practitioner. Number one, the cost. Number one, it frees up the health system that the public could see more people as number one, and the cost goes down. The cost doesn't go up.
So just to be clear, the system we have now, whereby we go to a Dr. Bryson, we go to a Dr. Mercure. Yeah, they retired already, but I just give you an example. you go to your house doctor and you want to see your house doctor is an old school model?
It's an old system. They doesn't do that anymore. Those systems, them, is the old. This system, them, in America. Matter of fact, the school that I went to, it's in the law that nurse practitioners, physician assistants, and medical students, we have to train together. We have to do the same rotation together. And the reason why we do it together, to let us know, to train us, that no one is above each other. The patient is in the middle, and we all have our specialty in terms of giving care. Just like nurses. Nurses, them, they have different ranks of nurses from LPN, RN, then they have those with master's degree. The same thing in America, but a matter of fact, in Holland, they do have nurse practitioners in Holland. I find it strange how St. Martin, they want to go forward, but they only have doctors. You got to go see a doctor. You got to spend hours in line to see a doctor. It doesn't make no sense. And matter of fact, it's so strange because a university that produces a lot of doctors in the world, AUC, the doctors don't stay in St. Martin. They come work in America. They go England. They go different places. So what are we doing? What are we doing?
What about the system of and one of the politicians, and well, I should say several politicians said that, since we go to Panama and we go to Dominica, Dominican Republic, we go to these Latin countries to get treated. Meanwhile, they can't even get a Latin doctor here to work. What about looking at it from that side?
So now, technically, the politicians then the ones who make the law. And if they does not know anything, right, how are they going to do something they do not know about it? If they don't willing to get advice from people, from some advice, not from foreigners. Like a person like from me, they would not want to listen to me. If I figure, I'm from St. Martin, what do I know? And then if I tell them my qualifications, they're going to say, common sense is better than book sense. So they're going to always twist it, you know what I mean? And what they're going to do, they're going to hire experts. The experts are going to come in, they're going to mess up things, and then I'm the local person. They can come and ask, please help me. And I'm trying to prevent that. Come to me. I'm considered an expert. I mean, I've been in this for 20 years. At my hospital that I work, I have my own clinic. At my hospital, Brooklyn Hospital, Dr. Gumbs, he's the expert. When they call me, right, and I give my opinion, my recommendation, they follow it to a T. It does not deviate. They follow it to a T. And it hurts me that I'm a born St. Martino, that in a foreign country, they accept me.
They accept you.
They educate me. And they're giving me, I'm not doing it for the money because, trust me, in healthcare, there's so much you can make. It's all about the love. And I'm willing to come back to my island, not just help my family, but to help the whole island. And all I do is get roadblocks. I mean, I got to speak to 1,000,001 people. I got to do a whole lot of stuff. Of course, they want me to come back, Andrew Dick, but they want me to give back. Do you understand what I'm saying? They say, you got the knowledge. I want you to give it back. But if a foreigner comes from England or Holland, they're willing to give them the shirt off their back. Yeah. They're willing to give them a car, house, land, the whole nine. But I say, Martin, he got to give back.
You got to give back because we gave you your scholarship, I guess?
They never gave me my scholarship. Brooklyn Hospital paid for my degrees. No one ever paid for my degrees.
Wow.
St. Martin never did nothing for me. And even if I would go back and say I want to help them, they don't want the help from me because what do I know?
Give me a indication of a normal day for you. What does Dr. Alexander Gumbs do on a daily basis when you work? So just people get an idea that you're the real deal.
So my clinic, I have a clinic in Syosset right next to the Syosset Hospital, which is owned by Northwell. Northwell have 22 clinics, 22 hospitals in the Long Island area, Connecticut, Staten Island. So my clinic is right next to them. So what I do, I get up in the morning, I go to the gym. After the gym, I go I check my schedule. Usually I have like 20 patients on my schedule. Sometimes I have like 6 new patients. So I have to get them psych eval. Sometimes I have patients that are going to come in, they want to get injection, long-acting injection for schizophrenia. So they come to my clinic. My clinic is dual. I practice medicine and psych together. First, I rule out the medicine part because we all know a lot of disease that is medicine, physical, can mimic psych. And once I rule out those things in terms of the blood work, kidney, liver, everything working, thyroid function, vitamin D, and once I rule out all this stuff, I say, okay, now we're going to do this, a psych eval. So I give a psych eval. Then I have pretty much on a regular day, I have at least 2 to 3 students from different colleges that are doing the masters in psychiatry. So they come by me, some of them doing masters in education, some of them doing masters in leadership. So they come to my clinics. So I start off like 10 o'clock. By 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock, I pretty much finish in terms of inpatient. Then I live about 4 blocks away from my clinic, so I go home, and then I continue seeing patient tele. That's something else that we have. We have tele, which means a person could be living in the Bronx. A person could be living upstate New York. They don't have to visit my clinic. I could see them through Zoom. I could treat them and everything like that. And that's like on a regular on Mondays. And Tuesdays, I get up in the morning, I go to the Brooklyn Hospital. I get to the Brooklyn Hospital. I got my own office there. I have assistants to come say, like, this is how much patient we're going to have today. So I see a lot of patients, and then in case of emergency, in terms of the emergency department, they would call me, say, like, this patient needs a psych eval because the patient having suicide ideation, or the patient is on psych medication. I go down, I do my psych eval, I put in my recommendations. Then I meet with a couple of the directors, and we have plans. Because right now at Brooklyn Hospital, I'm in charge of the psychiatry. So I'm implementing a lot of programs in terms of postpartum depression. I'm implementing the program. So because we have a detox unit, people come in, want to get off of benzos, they want to get off of marijuana, they want to get off of alcohol, I treat them because they have medication like that. Of course, all of those patients, then I make sure they have therapy on board. And then I do a lot of different floors and stuff like that. So they want me to do a lot of stuff in the Brooklyn Hospital in New York. So a lot of stuff that I'm doing, not only that I'm doing it, that I do programs like this Sunday past there. I went to a church and I'm teaching the church members them about mental health. Of course, in America, we still have stigma, you know what I mean, in terms of mental health. So my job is to spread the word and do a lot of teaching. And this is the kind of service that I do. And then, of course, I have at my clinic, I have other practitioners that work under me. At the hospital, I have other practitioners that work under me. So I pretty much do a lot of stuff. And to me, it's not really physical, it's mental. That's what I've been doing for many, many years. I became a nurse like in 2006. I became a nurse practitioner in 2015. I went back to school and got another master's in 2017. So, I've been doing this. This is what I do. I do this all day long.
If there's anything that nobody told you, Alex, just know that I am impressed and very proud of the fact that you continued your studies, even at your old age. I shouldn't say old age, sorry. At your age, you still continue to push. You still continue to get the knowledge, get the education, and then you still frustrated from far, even though you got everything you need up there, frustrated that you're seeing your island and just the 16 square miles, I should say, or the 37. At the same time, you still feel concerned because of the mistakes that you see us doing when it comes to healthcare on a whole. But it's a good thing you mentioned mental health, because I was going to ask, we don't really have problems because you in the Bronx, so you see what mental health really is over there.
Yeah.
Do we really have problems? Because, here, we stick a needle in them, we inject them, and then we forget them in a room, and then hopefully in a year they come out perfect.
You see, like what I'm seeing in St. Martin, I'm seeing a problem that we solve it. You know what I mean? Like, for example, and this I would try to put it for everybody to understand. We all know 2 + 2 is 4. It is what it is. St. Martin still, they're going through a phase, right, that they have a problem that the rest of the world have solved. Their problem is small. We got big problem. We got Trump. That is real problem. is not our problem. You know what I mean? In terms of the medication wise, I use a lot of medication. I have a lot of reps come to my office. They introduce new medication, not the old stuff, not lithium and Haldol. We have newer medication to tackle new stuff because we know now, fast forward, we know how the brains work. We know how the neurons work. We know how to do stuff. There's something that I always remember, and I always tell my students, if you was to put a patient on a restraint, even on a one-to-one, you have failed the patient.
Wow. Okay. That's
as
a
a
different
provider.
perspective. I like that. Okay.
Yeah, we does not do that. You know what I'm saying? We are more modernized now. So I'm looking at the modern problem in terms of the foundation, the mental health foundation. I'm looking at the hospital. And this stuff is very small, Andrew Dick. You know what I mean? It's very, very small.
And
it's
it's treatable.
It is very treatable in terms of therapy, in terms of medication. You know what I mean? In terms of education, it is what it is. And I have sometimes you know when you have a lot of knowledge that you accumulate over the years that they train you,
and you just want to chip in, you just want to help.
Yeah,
and then you get the resistance, and then it's like, is it really worth it?
Yeah, and I want for example, Andrew Dick, I'm not doing this for the money. Andrew Dick, listen to this.
I believe you.
I'm not doing this. I have
You're okay.
no skin in the game.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't have. I'm not doing this, but I live comfortable in America. My salary, even my profit at my clinic is a lot. You know, I'm in a hot commodity when it comes to mental health.
You work hard. Brag about it. You work hard.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So I make a lot of money, and a matter of fact, I'm getting a new contract from Brooklyn Hospital, and it's over 7 figures.
So you want to give back, and hopefully the government can hear the sincerity in your voice.
I want to give back the knowledge that I've accumulated. There's so much, and that's why I teach. That's why I precept, and the reason why I do this stuff, because if you get knowledge, you have to share it, not hold it to yourself. And that's what I want to do for my island, St. Martin. I want to help them, because by me helping them, it's like I'm helping myself, because I have family down there. You know what I mean? I have a mom, I got a dad, I got family in St. Martin. St. Martin is my roots. And if I come to America and they train me, St. Martin never once give me a dime. They never give me a scholarship. They never give me anything. Everything that I have accomplished, I accomplished from America. All my training and everything. And to look back, I've been in this for 20 years. This year I made it 20 years. So now I want to give back to St. Martin. And why the pushback?
Why the pushback? I think because you decided to put your hat in the ring, so they get to brand you. And at the same time, I like the fact that even after the elections, you were reaching out and still trying to give back. Hopefully, after they hear this interview, they can reach out and properly invite you to come on our dime and give at least a presentation to the parliament, and then we put it on their laps, because I talked to you several times, and I said, it's so unfortunate that you're not given a chance to at least contribute.
I was asked to develop a presentation, which I did. I had the presentation. It took me a couple of days to do it, because that's what I've been doing. Oh. I do this kind of stuff, And so I did the presentation, but at the same time, as you can tell, I have a lot of stuff going on up here. But if they're willing, I reach out to a lot of people in St. Martin and say, I could help you. I could help you. I'm not there to take nothing from no one.
Yeah.
Nothing. I'm here to help. You understand what I'm saying? And I don't want your job. I don't want to shine. I don't want to do none of those things. And to tell you the truth, I'm not really a politician. I tried some things to change.
Yeah,
but
you're professional. You're professional that decided to throw their hat in the ring. That's what you are.
Yes. I am a provider. My job is, if you come to me and you're sick, is to help you, not figure out. If I know what the problem is, my job is to fix it, not to come up with a lot of pushback and let you.
Alex, I can't help but ask, do you prescribe paracetamol like the doctors here?
Yes, I prescribe everything. I have a DEA number, right? I prescribe,
It's a joke,
because I
Alex.
have
It's a joke. It's a joke. Because they say every time
yeah,
you go to the doctor here in St. Martin, the best thing they give is a paracetamol. You got a headache, paracetamol. You got your fever, paracetamol.
I prescribe. Listen to this. My. I have a DEA number, and everybody knows what DEA stands for. It's one of those. You get a license from the Drug Enforcement Agency of America.
Ah.
So I pretty much prescribe, and because I have two specialties, right? I prescribe from hypertensive medication. I prescribe Percocet. You name it, I prescribe it.
Right.
I have the license to do that. The next thing that I do, I see patients from womb to doom. So even if you're pregnant, I can see you. That's how I from womb to tomb. And I have total specialties. So there's nothing that I haven't done. I work for, matter of fact, I worked for Northwell for over 3 years, right? And I did a lot of admissions in terms of medicine-wise. And I mean, so I've been in the trenches.
All right. Final words, Alex. Final words to the St. Martin public and, of course, those who are listening all over the world.
So I will let them, this is my final word. I need St. Martin to have an open mind. Give the people of St. Martin who went away and accumulate knowledge and experience, give them a chance to come back home and help. You know what I mean? My motto is that we all in this together. Give us a chance to help. We don't want to take nothing away. We want to give back. We don't want to come there for salary because we all know a lot of us doesn't go back to St. Martin because when we are away, we get enough money. You know what I mean? Why go back to St. Martin? It's hard to go back to your island when you're going to get a lot of roadblocks. They're going to say you don't know what you're talking about, or you're overqualified, or, you know what I mean? So a lot of stuff, so sometimes we don't want to be bothered. So give us a chance, right, to come back and do something, not just say it. Not just say it. Give us a chance, right, to come back home and make a change.
Talk.
If we partners can't take care of our island, who do you think going to take care of it?
Thank you, Alex. We keep on touch, and once again, proud of you.
Okay, thanks, Andrew Dick, and thanks for having me.
Always.
And I'm proud to be a St. Martiner.
Always. All right, Alex, take care. All right, so that was Alexander Gumbs. Like I mentioned, he is a healthcare professional. So over the weekend they had a fish day. Fish day was very well attended. It was live on several medias. It was pretty good, I must say. And of course, the culture, as always, was presented with different performances and so on. Quite a number of parties also took place. They have a particular. All right. Hope you enjoyed. Tomorrow, same place. All right. Andrew Dick Show podcast. Have a good one. Bye.
What is it? Guess what? I got an idea. It's amazing. You see how we have the link sharing all everywhere?
QR link,
the
yeah.
QR link?
Yeah.
Raw Caribbean Channel app. You're welcome. Put it in the back.
But it's not an app though. It's not an app. App you have to like download something to get it on your phone, take up space. It's not an app.
It's like an app. Therefore, it can be an app. So, it's an app. Raw Caribbean TV app. Say it with me, Al. Come on.
It's not an app though. All you gotta do with that, it's a link. You take the link, you hit the bookmark, you say add to home screen, and so it shows up like an app icon, but it's not an app though.
Are you a real person? It is an app because you get to watch all the programs from Raw Caribbean at one place. It is an app.
I don't know how to explain this to you, but factually and technically, it's not an app. Kind of like we do the news, facts,
Yeah.
and you do that thing you do.
Whoa.
Point being, you just go to the QR, you hit bookmarks, and you hit add to home screen, and then you can have the link. to, let's give it another name.
The app.
You want to call it the app?
Raw Caribbean TV app.
Jess.
Yes.
Jess, please, give some sense, Jess. Jess.
It's kind of like an app.
That's why she gets the big bucks.
It's not an app, though. It's not a f***ing app. What the f***? It's not a f***ing app.
You kiss your mother with her mouth? My God. Watch Raw Caribbean TV app.
Watch Rock Caribbean TV app.
Yes.
It's not an app, though.